What the? What the? Do it with me. What the? Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Robot Voices from 21 Pilots and their album Breach. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. Really enjoyed this one. Looking forward to getting into the content. So let's see what all this song has in store. Okay, got a good bit of information here. And it was interesting to find out how many songs on this album were a bit unconventional from them in the past, like songs that they utilized from others or collaborated on or dug up from the past. But it says Robot Voices is the 7th track on Breach, a love song. That's how I heard it. So glad that I'm not completely wrong. A love song that is a collaboration between 21 Pilots and Blanket Approval. During early album listening events, Tyler Joseph revealed that this song was originally made by Blanket Approval. He happened upon them randomly online and loved the song, but wished the bridge was the chorus. He reached out to the band and asked to mess around with the song, resulting in a collab between the two. That's a phone call you'll want to get. Tyler further stated that he and the band would receive splits of the record, as well as setting them up with a publisher for their music. That's awesome. Shane, a co-writer of the song, stated on Reddit, "The original demo of the original song was recorded in Logic by me in late 2021 in Brooklyn, New York for the band Buffo House. Buffo House broke up and became Blanket Approval. Blanket Approval recorded the song My Soft Spots, My Robots. Then Tyler found that song and interpolated it, hence multiple writers." There's a few other bits of information here. Blanket Approval recorded the song My Soft Spots, My Robots. Then Tyler found that song and interpolated it, hence multiple writers. I literally cried when I heard it for the first time yesterday and heard how Tyler reimagined it. His choice of using the bridge as the chorus and his additions to the lyrics are amazing. Also, I think his voice sounds so good on the chorus, so full. When we originally workshopped the bridge part with the cut out and come back in, I knew we had something special. That's awesome. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my ideas about this. I'm curious to see what these annotations say. So it says, "They keep me company, the robots and machines in my room." I actually think I wrote down a few notes. Yeah, boy. Look at that. Look at me. I don't normally do that. For some reason I did. "They keep me company, the robots and machines in my room, and understanding the beeps and tones they make. The only advice I take. The inside jokes are landing. Now I'm waiting for the changes. Everyone sees. Feeling so fancy. Feeling so fancy. And I just wanna dance in style." Okay. So here are my thoughts around this. They keep me company, the robots and machines in my room, and understanding. To me, if I feel like it's just from the outset giving you this idea of kind of isolation or being fine or content with your computer, your phone, your games, like being inside and not really thinking too much about the outside world. Maybe even just because I know how the song evolves, this disconnection possibly. And it could have a deeper meaning in the sense of like thinking that we're fulfilled in life without human relationship. And listen, I, as much as the next person, enjoy my time alone, my time by myself, but life, true life, man, is enjoyed with other human beings. So that's what I feel like it's kind of setting out. The beeps and tones they make, the only advice I take. I wonder if there's something in there about maybe like the internet, getting advice or having conversation on the internet. It could also just be this idea of, again, being so absorbed in just your space, your room, your technology, being alone, that it's kind of like you've made them your friends and advisors. I love this line, the inside jokes are landing, because I feel like there's kind of a double meaning. One is that, again, there's an understanding between you and these robots, and the fact that, okay, this is just coming to me as well. The understanding is because it's not a human being. And so there is not as much, when you introduce relationships into life, yes, life is best enjoyed with others, but that does bring difficulty because we're humans. You can be difficult at times. I can be difficult at times. Relationships take work. It's not always smooth sailing, and it could just be confusing. And so the idea of like the inside jokes are landing is almost a sad thing, because it is the reality that, like, of course, because it's just between you and these machines. But I feel like there's also this double meaning in the sense that it's like a joke about being inside, being a recluse and just kind of, what's the word I wrote down? A basement dweller. This part I was curious about. I wish there were annotations for. Now I'm waiting for the changes everyone sees, feeling so fancy. My first thought, again, knowing where the song goes, is that maybe others can see the relationship that's developing in the way that it's changing him, and that he hasn't even fully realized yet, like how this other human being can impact him and change him. Feeling so fancy is such a funny word with this too. Let's see what these say. These lyrics and the song in general is likely referring to modern culture, which is highly dependent on electronics and social media. The robots and machines in his room probably refers to the ease of access to the internet with computers, phones, etc. that we just keep inside of our rooms. The first line could be referring to how there are always people online that will understand you and your life, and could also be referring to how there are inside meanings to things and inside jokes, as stated in the last line. The second and third lines point out the fact that people's opinions and views are heavily influenced by the internet and the people around them. Tyler states he only takes advice from these robots, as many people take all of their advice from social media and the internet. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this line leading into pre-chorus and chorus. And I just want to dance and style and stay a while. The lines on the floor, how did you find me? Yeah, this is an interesting one. These lines are interpolated directly from Blanket Approval's My Soft Spots, My Robots. Tyler found the original author of something about the song really got Tyler's attention. Blah, 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 blah. Well, that doesn't help me. Yeah, I don't fully know where he's going with this. I don't know if this is like blurring into what he's finding in the chorus. Or it could just be this idea that like he wanted to stay in his room, because the lines on the floor, there's more meaning further down, right? Half-drawn blinds casting lines on the floor. So you weren't introduced to that earlier, but I wonder if it is because it's obviously invoking the idea that he's still inside, because the light coming through the blinds is creating lines on the floor. And so it's like he's kind of content, but content in the sense because he doesn't know what else is out there. He's content with this, but once he finds this love, it changes him. And so maybe it is that idea that he just wanted to kind of dance in style and stay a while with the lines on the floor. And now he's wondering, like, how did you find me? I was wondering too if maybe it could be speaking about finding somebody on the internet. Well, let's just move on to the next part. Let me know your thoughts. I wasn't looking for love this year, but my robot told me I shouldn't fear. When I met you, I found you safe and warm. Then the robot voices would reassure me. So yeah, I mean, I guess it could be speaking as robot voices as actual people online, and people letting him know like, yeah, that's a good thing, or she's a good one. Or maybe even if it's from a personal standpoint, I don't know how public it was. Like once he started talking to Jenna, you know, if there were pictures of them or social media posts that other people were on, and then maybe people are saying like, go for it, she's amazing, whatever. I'd be curious if that played into it. The original lyrics were written by Blanket Approval, who defined the lines in their song on a TikTok. Figuratively speaking, my soft spots are my vulnerabilities shaped by the past, and my robots are my little self-work messengers who take my anxious thoughts and bring them to the present moment so that I can make decisions based on what's in front of me rather than what's behind me. But literally speaking, when we were writing verse 1 of this song, I was wearing a pair of underwear with little robots on them. What? Tyler could be sticking with the original meaning of the lyrics, but more than likely he's putting his own spin on them. The robots may be coping techniques Tyler has practiced, little voices in his head to help him through life. In therapy for anxiety disorders, it is recommended to give yourself positive self-talk to help cope and walk through decisions instead of stopping short due to anxious feelings. This love Tyler is referring to may be Jenna, his wife. Tyler could be writing from the position of when they first fell in love. In previous songs like Air Catcher, Tyler talks about falling in love and his difficulties with the situation. I won't fall in love with fallen. I will try to avoid those eyes because I'm not sure I want to give you tools that could destroy my heart. This previous damage to his heart may have hindered him from falling in love again, but the things in his mind to safeguard him against dangerous situations ease him, letting him open up for a beautiful relationship. Or the robots may be a member of the Dima universe, similar to how Ned was introduced through Chlorine. The robots may be introduced in a future video. Okay, a lot of thoughts on that one. I think the thing for me as well is just to remember the big picture here is the contrast, I think, of that which is cold and metallic and let's just go with uncomplicated, because that's kind of what we laid out in the beginning of the song, meaning like I don't have a complicated relationship with my computer. It is a computer, okay? Or whatever. But you have the idea of cold, metallic, distant versus human, warm, flesh and blood, soul and spirit. And I feel like it's trying to contrast those things. And once he came in contact with the other thing, it changed him. So he wasn't looking for love this year. When I met you, I found you safe and warm. Yeah, that's what we just read. 1, 2, 3, 4. The half-drawn blinds casting lines on the floor. As my metal friend flashes in time, the daisy-chained power strips generating. Yeah, I'm curious what it has to say here. Obviously, okay, so my metal friend flashing in time, I feel like is probably the idea of a computer working, or the robot operating, because the daisy chain power strips are generating. So power's being pulled, the metal friend is processing. Because if you ever daisy chain power strips, like you plug a power strip into the wall and a power strip into that power strip and a power strip into that power strip. My metal friend flashed in time, daisy chain power strips generating a newfound loneliness. So I'm waiting for the changes everyone sees feeling so fancy. Is it because he's encountered this new love that it creates this newfound loneliness? because it's kind of like once you've opened yourself up for love, you've also opened yourself up for loneliness, being without that person. Let's see what this says. Daisy chaining, act of connecting multiple daisies together. What? Okay. All right. Maybe it's going to. Yeah. Okay. To make loops for bracelets, crowns. However, in music production, it instead refers to extending XLR cables by connecting multiple together. Yeah, but he specifically says power strips. Let me see if I can find a picture of mine. Come on. Come on. Yeah, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is what he's talking about. Daisy chaining power strips. Connecting all the devices. All right. So here the robots in question are likely music recording equipment found in... Oh, that's cool too. I didn't really think about that. It being music equipment that Tyler would find himself around increasingly as the band grew in popularity and scope. There's also a reference to a digital metronome found on analog hardware in studios or on DAWs in As My Metal Friend Flashes in Time. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. A metronome. So, hold on. With that idea of the studio, let me revisit this for a second. Yeah, I still don't fully get this, but maybe the idea of wanting to dance and style and stay a while is just him alone with his music. Because even, encountering Jenna was after the band had begun. And so he was probably knee deep in that work, and being single, probably obsessively obsessing. And if you go by him creating music, just like content with doing that and pouring all of his time into that, and then Jenna enters the picture, it's just like everything changes from there. And so maybe the idea of him wanting to just kind of be in the room dancing just has to do with being in the room making music. But I still don't fully get. I'm waiting for the changes everyone sees. Could it be like everyone that's experienced love sees, not like everybody is seeing him waiting for changes, but he's waiting for changes that everyone sees when they fall in love? And he's feeling fancy because of the new love that's entered his heart? I don't know. That kind of checks out to me. Sorry, it's taken us 18 minutes to get there. Okay, we're chorus. Yep. That's the end of that song. So that's kind of where I landed, I think. Was that really the robots, the metal machines are recording equipment, computers. And then maybe it was his music was the advice that he takes, that which he's producing and writing and creating, because they have this understanding. And it may not even be advice like life advice. It might just be advice is like what you should do with this song, you should express this thought. Yeah, that's where I'm landing. And I'm waiting for changes that everyone sees, in the sense that everyone goes through similar things when they encounter love, and he's feeling this is him inside. On the outside, that's not what he's doing, but he's feeling fancy. He's feeling fancy. He wants to dance. But he also wants to dance in the studio. And he's like, how did you find me? So, anyways, Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you saw anything differently. We'll have a conversation down there. Thanks for being with me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one. We're eating good.